Picture a black screen with a blinking cursor. The same interface your grandparents used to compile code, debug servers, and push to production. It hasn't changed in 50 years. And yet, something radical is happening right now. The terminal is being reinvented, not for you, but for the AI agents writing code on your behalf. Companies are dropping tens of millions of dollars into this exact problem. Some want more agents packed into the terminal. Others want you to escape the terminal entirely. And in the middle of it all, agents are starting to argue with each other about the best way to solve your problems. Let me explain why this matters. Cursor just shipped a command line interface for its AI coding agent. It works anywhere: Neovim, JetBrains, GitHub Actions, your CI pipeline. You pick the model, it connects external tools through the Model Context Protocol, and it can run headless. No editor needed. Just the terminal doing what it's always done, quietly getting things done, except now the thing getting done is writing production code. Meanwhile, a startup called Factory AI raised $50 million to build something called Droids. They hit #1 on Terminal Bench, the leaderboard that measures how well AI agents can actually operate inside a terminal. Their pitch is ambitious. The best agents for software development are becoming the best agents for everything. And their investors, Sequoia, JP Morgan, NVIDIA, believe them. But there's a problem. Some of these tools lock you into a single model. Codex only does Codex, and that's it. Not everyone agrees that's the right approach, which is exactly why an open-source project called Saltwork appeared within days. It lets you run Codex, Claude Code, OpenCode, and Gemini, all of them simultaneously in separate terminals. Model agnostic. Freshly released. The message is loud and clear. Don't let one company own your agent workflow. And honestly, that's the pattern playing out everywhere. One company dominates, the community fragments, something open source appears, and suddenly everyone has options. We've watched this movie before with browsers, with Linux distributions, with package managers. Now it's happening with AI agents. But here's where things get really interesting. What if the future of coding isn't about a single brilliant agent? What if it's about agents arguing with each other? Someone built an extension called PyMessenger that does exactly this. You spin up multiple AI agents into a shared chat room and watch them coordinate, debate, and converge on the best solution. Different models bring different strengths. One might be great at architecture, another at debugging, another at writing test cases. They push back on each other's assumptions. They find the edge cases a single agent would miss. Think about it. This is literally how senior engineering teams work. You don't hire one genius engineer and give them a blank check. You put a team in a room, you let them disagree, and you trust that the collective output beats any individual. Not everyone is convinced, though. Multi-agent systems add latency. They cost more. The coordination overhead is real. Sometimes you don't need a committee. You need one sharp tool that does the job fast. And you know what? Both sides are right. The right answer probably depends on the problem. Quick refactoring? One agent is enough. Architecting a new microservice? Put 3 models in a room and let them hash it out. But if you're running multiple agents, you need a workspace that can actually handle it. Which brings us to the terminal itself. For decades, the terminal has been a rectangle of text. Split it in half with tmux, maybe open another tab. That's been the ceiling. But new terminals are being built from the ground up for the agent era. There's one called Kmux. It's a native macOS application built on Ghosty. Not Electron. It flies. Vertical tabs show your Git branches, your working directories, active ports. When an AI agent running inside it needs your attention, a notification. Ring lights up around the pane. And there's a keyboard shortcut, CMD plus Shift plus U, that instantly jumps you to the newest unread notification from any agent running in any pane. That sounds like a small thing until you're watching 3 coding agents work in parallel, and one of them hits a permissions error at midnight. The notification ring is the difference between "I'll catch that" and "my build has been broken for 4 hours." What's fascinating is that Kmux doesn't try to be another AI product. It's a terminal. It runs any agent: Claude Code, Codex, Gemini, Cursor, Goose, Aider, because it understands its job is infrastructure, not intelligence. The walls around the agents, if you will. Get the walls right, and everything else works. Now, if you really want to see where this is going, look at the people living on the edges. Lavelcio, the entrepreneur behind Nomad List and Remote OK, codes mostly on his phone. He uses Termius to SSH into a remote server running Claude Code, and he develops his products while walking around, waiting for coffee, on planes. Not at a desk, in a terminal, on a phone. The absurdity of that image is exactly what makes it a preview of the future. Then there's generative TUI. Ask a question, and instead of text, you get a polished dashboard with live data, rendered right inside your terminal. 27 different components, streaming in real time. Dashboards that generate themselves on demand. The terminal as an interactive visualization space, not just a text console. And on the flip side, there's an entire movement arguing we should escape the terminal entirely. Tools like Claudebot are pushing for a world where agents live in their own native interfaces, not nested inside a command prompt, where the terminal is an implementation detail, not the user interface. Every single one of these experiments is probing the same fundamental question. When AI writes the code, where does the human sit? Do we double down on the terminal and make it the command center for orchestration? Do we build entirely new interfaces around agent collaboration? Or do we step back and let the agents work invisibly, checking in only when something's wrong? My guess is all three happen simultaneously, because developers aren't a monolith. Some will want a terminal full of arguing agents. Some will tap a button on their phone while making dinner. Some will never open a terminal again and couldn't be happier about it. The terminal survived punch cards, graphical interfaces, and touchscreen phones. It's not going anywhere. But the terminal you use in 2 years won't look anything like the one you use today. The next time you open a terminal, take a second to appreciate what's about to change. The blinking cursor that survived half a century of computing is about to have company. And honestly, I can't wait to see what shows up. If this is your kind of deep dive into where technology is actually headed, hit subscribe. There's a lot more coming, and it's moving fast.